All right, well, welcome. Hopefully if you're watching this video, you've already watched the two videos on the Chameye PTZ camera that I reviewed. Today we're going to be looking at this guy, their PTZ controller. Now, like with any PTZ controller, or at least most, you can actually control any kind of camera with this. You don't have to buy a controller from the same brand as your manufactured camera because they're all using fairly standard protocols like NDI and ONVIF and VISCA, and those sorts of things. So if you have a mixed environment with a lot of different kinds of cameras, PTZ cameras from different manufacturers, a single controller is going to be able to do them all. They're a bit agnostic to it, though sometimes manufacturers do throw in a couple extra features specifically for their cameras. Today, just to kind of keep things simple, I will be pairing this Chameye controller with the Chameye camera that I was also sent to review. So first, let's dig into this guy and get it out of the box. All right, here she is, as is the case today. Really nice boxes. I don't know who's making all these boxes in China, but they make really nice boxes. Couple things note on the outside. 3-inch LED screen for video preview. I haven't seen one with video preview in a long time, and I'm really excited to see how that works. And otherwise, you've got all the things you would expect to find in a camera controller like this. So first thing I do, get the box opened up here, and as you would expect, your instruction booklet. Let's see if we need that. Your power adapter. I'm hoping this is going to work over PoE. I believe it will. And then yet another serial cable you're not going to use because nobody controls their cameras over serial anymore. All right, and now we got the unit itself. Here it is. Chuck that box. Again, wrapped in plastic with this little joystick sticking out there, so careful of that. And then we'll set it down just right there like that. Get some of the stuff out of the way. Got a bit of a weight to it, which is, again, something you like to see in your electronics. And I can tell you right now, a lot of familiar features that I really like seeing that make things simple for you. So you've got your rocker switch for your zoom. You've got, a roller thing for your focus, your PTZ speed, your iris, and your gain. Make little tweaks there. And then, of course, an auto button to return it back to that. There's that screen that they talked about there. Quick camera buttons for up to 7 cameras. If you're doing a lot of switching during, if you're at church during your service, whatever, you got multiple cameras and you're switching between them a lot, the conventional way of doing it, where you have to put in the camera number and then, and then hit a button to say go and all that, it can be up to 3 button presses just to switch between the cameras before even doing anything. So having these quick buttons is just super nice and convenient. So I think what we're going to do right now is we're actually just going to plug it into the same network, and see how the setup process works. All right, so all I've done is actually plugged it into my network in my PoE network switch. It's on the same switch as my camera. So we're going to turn it on and see what it does. Oh, look at that. Oh, fun, full color graphics. That's kind of neat. All right, it did take a second to load there, but nothing too bad. And as you can see, it kind of defaults to here, where it's defaulting looking at camera 1, which is fine. But of course, I don't have any cameras installed. As you can see, I went cam list, and it says your cam list is empty. And I'm like, I know that because I need to go and find some. So my guess is if I hit the search button, what I'm going to find is, hey, I'm going to find my camera. Look at that. So there's my VISCA over IP. That's the camera IP address that's on the little screen on the camera that you can't see, but is actually right behind it. So what I'm going to want to do is go ahead and say, yes, I want that. Device name is fine. Add to shortcut keys. Yep, I'm going to want to add that as Cam1. I go to cam list, there's my camera 1, select my camera 1 for use. Yep, And there we go. I know you can't see it, but it is in fact moving with the screen as you would expect. And my preview screen here continues to show me all the information about my camera, how I'm controlling it, and the different settings. This is actually really nice. I've not actually seen this before, where it actually tells you the amount of pan, the amount of tilt, the amount of zoom that you're currently using, your focus mode. So all those things you don't have to guess on, they're right there on the screen. Man, that's pretty cool. All right, so let's do a little bit of more testing here. Now you can actually see how the camera's responding. So you see I've got my focus. So I'm focusing really, really near, which is probably not going to do me any good. But like in this situation, it's choosing to focus. You know, it's having to make choices on where to focus. So say I want to focus on the door. I want to come back and focus more on my hand. You know, I've got that option here through this. And then, of course, I can always, and now it says focus mode, manual. So cool. Of course, now I can just go back to auto, and it goes back to auto. And, of course, I can do all the things that you would expect me to be able to do, you know, including twist to zoom that way. I've also got the rocker switch, you know, here if you want to do it kind of two-handed, however you want to do it, is fine. All right, now, one of the things that, of course, that the box said is that it could preview the video. It could show you which video, what the video that's actually coming from the camera you have selected. Well, where is that? Well, it's preview video. I don't know why it's PVW, truthfully, but that's what this button does. And now you can see on the little screen, I can see what's going on with my camera. There's a slight delay because there's always a slight delay, and that's just how these things work. But it's actually fairly acceptable, and the resolution's actually fairly decent. You know, sometimes they're a little bigger, which is nice, but the resolution on this one actually is pretty okay. And then if I want to go back to seeing the settings, I can, which again is a nice feature. I think if you're a camera operator, you're really going to enjoy working with this controller. All right, so that's the Chameye controller. What do I think? I think it's a really, really solid unit. Again, I think similar if you saw the camera review, this is a manufacturer slash importer who's really listened to their customers and decided to add the features, little tweaks here and there that just make it a lot easier to use. I don't think we're going to see a lot of major changes in this space. I mean, a PTZ camera kind of is what it is, and the controller kind of is what it is. But as time goes on, what we're going to see is smaller improvements, you know, additional buttons for where you need buttons, and different ways to basically make the user experience simpler. This is, you know, probably by far the one that gets it the most right so far. And I really like having that option for video preview when you want it, but then also all that really detailed information about the camera and what's going on with it and its settings. I mean, I think that's pretty great too. I'm a little surprised they didn't include built-in buttons to turn on and off the auto tracking, since that's a feature they're really promoting in their cameras. The workaround for that is there is a button on there to bring up the on-screen menu for the camera itself. So you can go through the on-screen menu to turn the auto tracking on and off if you want to. So you can still do it technically, you know, fully with the controller and not have to mess with the remote and that sort of stuff if you don't want to. So that is an option, and it just kind of makes it a little bit more practical. It's not like you're going to be turning the AI tracking on and off all the time anyway. I did notice too on the camera itself, when it comes to the AI auto tracking, it seems to default to whatever you last did. So if you turn the camera off with the auto tracking on, you turn it on, it's still going to be auto tracking, which is nice. So the need to get in there and turn it on and off may actually be not very significant. So a little bit of an oversight, but nothing too bad. But otherwise, a really, really, really solid controller that really, I think, anybody who is maybe a little bit more of a novice or a beginner at it will find useful and really easy to set up. Between the little screen on the camera and how easy that one found all its network settings, they've really made it a lot easier to set these systems up out of the box. So I hope you found that useful. There are links in the description below if you're interested in either one of these products. Those links do help support this channel, so please check those out. And until I see you again, have a great day. Hey everybody, if you found that video helpful, please hit like and subscribe, and also check the video description for links to any products you've seen in today's videos. Doing that really helps support this channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment with any questions that you may have. A lot of the content I do is based directly on the questions and the feedback you give, so keep that coming and I will keep making them. Thank you.